Hey there, everyone! I just hit the back shelf. Fudge! Also, when someone tells you to try to straighten your hair, don't let them. Oh, my name's Fox Rhinestone, and I'm at Fox, and let me just put my hair up in a bun for a little bit. Someone wanted to try to straighten my hair, and jeez, look how long it is. It's not even really that straight. It's still floofy. But I don't know. But anyways, I had actually planned to do a actual like let's play. Like I've actually planned to do all of episode Gladius, which is only about like an hour and a half gameplay, and let me put that like that at least. That probably looks more Gladius than anything else. And the thing is, I like Noctis, of course, more, and Prompto would probably be my second, and then Ignis and Gladius were probably my last favorite. But yeah, so I did play the game earlier, and we kind of left with it. I wanted to do a review at least of it because for some reason the gameplay didn't record, so it was just like fudge. But anyways, this game, I said in the beginning, like when I first unboxed Final Fantasy 15, I did say that like I'm probably not gonna get the DLC. Well, I kind of started playing the game again, and I wanted to actually I beat the game already, but then I thought I wanted to do all of the dungeons, these hidden dungeons stuff. I did the Pit of Eos, which there's a theory on the Pit of Eos, which if you read it. It actually makes the game so much better in a way. Like the world itself is telling you a story, and it's freaking beautiful and awesome. But and it also makes you look at it in a different way. Though they say in the end that that Noctis is actually the bad guy, but I don't really see that being as a bad thing. And him being a bad guy in that. But and it does fill in some blanks too. But yeah, so I started playing in episode Gladius just came out a couple days ago, and I was thinking, alright, I like this game enough, I might as well get the season pass, that way I can at least get all of the episodes. Though I would say check out some things first before you get these, because I played episode Gladius, which Gladiolus himself, I'll say right now, in the beginning of the game Final Fantasy 15, he was probably my favorite, quote-unquote, favorite companion. Because he reminded me a lot of my brother, at least. And my brother would be, I would say if we were a Final Fantasy team, he would be the tank. And that's what Gladius is. He's the tank. He's the dude with a giant sword. And, I'm trying to think, I actually liked him. I liked him, even when he teaches you, to train or whatever, and wants you to grow strong, and it's cool. And then, as soon as you get to when you have to go fight Titan, he becomes such an alien. You have to stop being a spoiled brat or some crap like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this coming from? Because again, also throughout the rest of throughout every transaction thing when I talk to people, I'm always nice or whatever. And I guess there's no real multiple endings. I don't think to this game, but still, it's That one right there is me what the fuck, Gladius? I haven't been doing anything. I've been being nice to people, and you're treating me like crap right there. And then also, it's just kind of makes me feel okay, well, my choice really didn't do nothing if I was nice or not. Other than, me getting extra AP, ability points and stuff like that, or experience points. But, so he slowly went downhill from there, and Prompto actually went up a lot more. Because I actually love his personality and everything a lot more. But playing this itself, I'll say right now, I did kind of like this episode in a way, because I was reading that they said this is a couple reasons. One, they kind of use the mythos of Gilgamesh a bit, in the sense that basically Gladius has to go through this trial as the Shield of the King to become, the Shield of the King, the strongest to protect Noctis. And Gilgamesh is the Blade Master. He's the one that you have to defeat to gain this power. Though when you start when you first start off, you have to fight him immediately. And immediately I'm fighting him, trying to hit him. His life's not going down any bit. And I'm and then he hits me. Alright, I need to heal. I try to look through my healing thing, but it took my healing stuff away immediately. I'm oh. I'm supposed to die. Great. I mean, it's not really death, but even though Gilgamesh looks pretty cool, this entire one, like, this, one, I like how this still kind of fits in with the Final Fantasy world. It's not just like some random place. You're in that giant scar on the planet, that giant scar canyon thing. You are inside of there. That's where you're basically kind of exploring a bit, though it's kind of really straightforward. And the best way I could say this is because also, like, some people thought, like, maybe Gladius is going to hell or something because of, again, Pits of Eos theory. It kind of reminded me a lot of, Dante's Inferno and a little bit of, Devil May Cry, at least it felt like, the Final Fantasy's version of Devil May Cry / Dante's Inferno, even with, like, kind of, not really combos, but, like, you know, it's more just slash, then use kind of the environment to destroy some of these guys. And then, like, it is more like, because as Noctis, I usually just warp the fudge around it, which also, mind you, if you come in from the campaign and go straight into episode Gladius, and you're used to, like, you know, okay, the enemy's right over there, use my warp strike, warp to him, and then hit him. That doesn't happen, of course, Gladius doesn't have the warp ability. Which also kind of, I kind of question too. Like, Noctis can summon weapons. The King's Glaive can warp strike, but can they not summon weapons? Why can Gladius, Prompto, and Ignis summon weapons? Did the King give them the ability to? Or does Noctis actually just hold all their weapons in this subspace, and when they're about to fight, Noctis just summons the weapons for them? I actually kind of really wonder that bit now. That's something to look up. But yeah, this also, if you've played the game before, you know where this takes place too, because there's one where Gladius just goes, yeah, I'm gonna leave for a little bit. Yeah, bye. He disappears, and then he comes back. Then, like, later on, he comes back with a new scar on his forehead. And basically, what happens is, this is supposed to be a trial that's gonna make him become stronger. And again, this feels a lot kind of like Dark Souls, Dante's Inferno a bit. It feels a lot like Dark Souls, especially the enemies you fight, because a lot of them are like the armored enemies with the swords and stuff, of course. But like you have to go around and you grab souls, which reminds me of Dante's Inferno. You grab souls, and the souls give you more power, either giving Gladius a new ability, like to swing around his sword even stronger, or he has, he can deflect more, or in the end, his sword glows with energy that will allow you to fight Gilgamesh. Like, then what was the point of the first battle then? I don't know. And also, Kor is with Gladius, they're kind of telling a little bit of story, like, Gladius talks about his father, how, like, I guess he doesn't like his father, I think. I can't really remember that bit. Something about that, and, like, his dad was the shield of the king, but he didn't go through this trial because he didn't want to leave King Regis, especially during this time with the wall or whatever. And, okay, I kind of at least understand that. And also that Kor actually tried to go and do this trial. He was the last one to do it 30 years ago. Which one, if they would have said that in the beginning and then just left it at that and then towards the end, I think that would have been a lot better, but no, they bring it up. So you did this, like, what, like 30 years ago? Yeah, 30 years ago. The last guy was in here who was Kor, the last guy who was here 30 years ago. He was, like, such a strong will and stuff like that. And, like, they even, like, say, like, even when, one, you kind of just fight, you know, boss monsters as you go through. There's some bosses, but mostly they're the same monsters. Then when you finally get to Gilgamesh, I actually really like, because you're on one of the pillars, and I always love the, like, Kingdom Hearts, the Keyblade Graveyard, or, like, you know, just, like, the battlefield with all the swords stabbed into the ground. I always love that, and I like this one, too. Gilgamesh stands in the middle. One, he has, like, an arm cut off, and he's just like, these are all the swords of the people who last came to fight me. And you will be the last. And your sword will be here as well. But no, you fight Gilgamesh. It's a pretty good fight. And then, like, as soon as you think you're going to beat him, he holds up his arm with no hand. Just energy arm comes out, grabs the sword, throws it. And he's like, no. And then you have to fight him all over again, which I'm like, fudge, I used up all my potions and crap. Which also, mind you, none of your items or levels or anything transfer over to Gladius in episode Gladius, which kind of sucks. Because I'm just like, I decked my guy out with all this stuff, and you're not going to give me this, really? Whatever. But, Because I know as heck, because all them enemies are like level 30 or something. And I'm just thinking, I could have wiped the floor with all these guys. Right now, through my New Game Plus, like I have all of my items and stuff. I'm using the Ring of Luci, and blowing up like almost every little bit of enemy that comes my way with it. It is glorious. Or when you fight one of those giant titans that kind of give you trouble, who comes out of the ground at night, and like it's like level 45, and you kind of had to take a while to beat him. I can use the Ring of Lucius, open up a portal, and suck a sucker away. Yeah, it might take 1 or 2 tries, but if you have a bunch of ether, you are pretty much God. And I don't mean that like in a way that's like, oh, the game is so easy. No, it is still fun. It does get difficult when you get back to like monsters that can fight you. But even though it is kind of fun just running around, like literally because I've already played the game and beaten the story, I'm just really mostly exploring everything now, doing all the like little side quests. And then I'm going to get back to the story and then go fight Arden. Go fight all the spoilers, I guess, Arden. But episode Gladius, it's an hour and 30. It has some moments I kind of like, and I do like Gilgamesh Myth. I really do like. But one thing that kind of sucked was like they made Enkidu, Gilgamesh's best friend, the guy who like is kind of like his brother, who they fight together and stuff. They just make him a dragon, just not even like give him a good like thing. It's just he's just a random dragon that is on like this pillar, and you fight him, and then you just go on to the next. And I'm just like, oh come on, you could at least have like Gilgamesh is the sword master, and like you could have had Enkidu as like maybe his second in command or something. But no, they just make him a dragon. I'm like, oh, that is so lazy. That was lazy. And I at least like the visuals of this one, because again, it feels kind of like, even though you're not really going to hell, it feels like you're kind of going to hell. Again, it reminds me of Dante's Inferno. Like the darkness, being in the crevice itself, and like you even see like the bridge at one point that you drive across. That you actually have to take a picture for the V at one point. Which also, did anyone else think that V, the big guy who owns who's the president of that Meteor Publishing, did anyone else think that his voice and he himself should have been and looked a lot like the guy from Lost? Did anyone else see that? Because when I first heard him talk, I'm like, okay, that was a little bit jarring. I was making a totally different voice coming out of there. Because I've seen that guy's face before. But, yeah, this episode Gladius was just kind of, and it just felt like, okay, you don't have all your powers, you're just with the Buster Sword, which you can't really customize, and you just have to fight through all these guys. And it's an hour 30 thing, and I'm just like, this kind of sucks. And hopefully episode Prompto will be better, because at the end of this one, because again, the best part I think was the best part of this little DLC was probably just Gilgamesh, and that's probably like Gilgamesh, his design, and like the arm coming off, and then he has the energy arm, or the area where you fight him. And I like the visual of the canyon, going inside the canyon. So like, I wish this was actually a dungeon. Like, I kind of want to know if I can actually get to this dungeon in the game, because they show you on the map where you are. So I kind of actually want to know if I can get to the dungeon from there. And then episode Prompto is supposed to be coming out next in January, February, March, April, May, June. In June, which I'm pretty sure I know where that one's going to take place. That one's going to take place after Prompto gets knocked off. It gets knocked off the train of that one bit. That's right, where that one's going to take place. And honestly, that one's probably going to be the most interesting, I believe, because Prompto, and again, like, people have been looking up, I've been trying to look up like exactly what it was, because spoilers for the game, Prompto apparently was not a soldier, but he was an experiment of the Empire, where Empire was putting demons inside suits, or using people to make them into demons, and then put them into suits the robot suits, that way they don't get killed by the sun. So I assumed that Prompto was a demon, at least to the end where like they show him with the tech. I thought what it was supposed to be is that inside of Prompto is a demon. That is what Prompto is. Prompto is basically a shell with a demon inside. And he is the demon itself, and he's just kind of controlling the body. That is how I perceived that. That's how I perceive that, like, what Prompto is. But then again, still, like, no one really even knows. They're like, wait, so is Prompto a soldier? Is he one of these knight guys? Is he not? I took it as he's a biological soldier. He's a biological version of the robot ones. But that one looks pretty good. Like, you see Prompto in the end, like, the gun, like holding a gun. And I forgot what he says. Like, his hand's shaking, but then he grabs the gun, just fires, and just ends. And I think the thing he was looking at was one of those knights, one of those mechanical knights. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be, spoilers, I guess. Arden probably comes in and tells him, you are this or whatever. And, like, probably kind of has to deal with that. Which, again, I can understand DLC that expands on the game itself and adds more to it. Like, if we would have had, like, if, take out Gladiolus disappearing. Take that out, we just continue on with it. Take out Prompto being knocked off. You know what, you can keep Prompto getting knocked off the train, at least, but you don't have to put a story in between there. And you don't have to cut out, and the whole thing with Ignis losing his eyes, let us play that. Or if anything, if you're going to have these two things happen, let us play as Gladiolus, in episode Gladiolus, in the actual game, with our actual equipment. And then same thing for Ignis. And Prompto, and like Prompto, you know what, even let us play as Prompto finding these things out. And then, after, like, if you want to do DLC, if you really want to do DLC, which actually, now that I think about it, I think I know where the campaign of the multiplayer is probably going to take place. But if you really want to have DLC, first off, take those 3 episodes that you have that you're releasing now, put them in the main campaign. Let us have our own items and stuff with it as we do it. We have an entire episode where it's just Noctis. Let it be where it's like, okay, we first play as only Gladiolus, then we play only as Ignis, and then we play only as Prompto. And then in the end, you have it only playing as Noctis in Chapter 13, and then 14 and 15, you know, they come together and everything. You can have that. And then, if you want to have DLC and have an episode Gladiolus, episode Ignis, episode Prompto, have it in between, spoilers for the main campaign, in between after Noctis gets pulled into the crystal. After when the sun finally sets and disappears forever until, 10 years later, where you have Prompto, Ignis, and Gladiolus basically all go their separate ways and then come back when Noctis comes back. That's where you have the DLC. Have it to where you see what led Prompto into this. Like, maybe Prompto then has to learn how to deal, with being part demon. And maybe, like, even in the main campaign, you have, at one point, Noctis is about to get killed by Infert or something, and you see Prompto come in front, like, he goes, like, demon. Like, you see, like, you see, like, maybe, like his skin kind of turned the purple, or, like, you see, like, the purple aura coming off of him, and you see him kind of go demon with, like, claws, and maybe, like, the gun turns demon, just boom, 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 and he has, like, a demon blast or something that shoots out and he hits Infert's hand away or something. That way you kind of show, like, oh, crap, Prompto learned how to use his demon powers, or control his demon powers. How do you do that? And that right there, because in the end of, when you have Prompto revealing that, yes, I'm a guy, I'm from this thing, I have a barcode on, it's just like, okay, did we really need to know that or whatever? But in this way, it's like, yeah, we saw Prompto, we know, okay, he's a demon, he has some kind of demon inside of him, and maybe he doesn't feel, he should be part of the team now or anything. You kind of have that tender moment, a little bit of like, yeah, the two shake hands, but then, as soon as Noctis leaves, he's like, I should have been stronger, or something like that, and then we can see Prompto become this demon, having with the gun, gaining that power, and then like Noctis, like, even like surprised then, like, how'd you do that? And he goes, many things happened in those 10 years. And you have opened up for episode Prompto. And then even like Ignis, maybe Ignis learns, maybe you can have well, I don't even know how they're gonna do episode Ignis really, but actually you could each have like their own kind of style, I guess. I don't know, but like then you could have episode Gladius, maybe episode Gladius. If let's say that itself, let's say we have this episode Gladius, but in the end have it different. Have instead of Gladius beating Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh kicks the living out of him. He kicks the crap out of him, beats him, goes, "You are not worthy yet." And like, Gladius basically gets shunned out. And he has to come back to his friends. He doesn't feel as strong as he should have. But in the end, then between those 10-year time span, we see Gladius then goes back. After training, he goes back into the cavern. He goes back to fight the demons again. Maybe they come back stronger. And then you fight Gilgamesh again, and you use maybe new abilities that he's learned, and sing, you beat Gilgamesh like, "You are worthy to serve the king." Boom! You have episode Gladius for in between that 10 times frame. It's a better setup. Or like you have Gilgamesh come back when you're stronger, or something like that. And then episode Ignis. I don't know how that one's going to work. Spoilers again for the main campaign. He goes blind. I'm pretty sure it's going to be shown at the end of episode Ignis and in the ending campaign. You see that his eyes go blind. And it's kind of like, well, that sucks. Now I got to deal with this. And Gladius saying, "Noct, stop being a jerk. Slow down." Like, shut up, Gladius. Especially since when you play chapter 13, verse 2, you can be Gladius and run as far in front of Ignis as you want. And he won't comment like, "Hurry up, Iggy," or "Man, I'm kind of an a-hole, aren't I?" Freaking jerk. But yeah, like episode Ignis, I don't know. Didn't they say that he was something about him? No. Sid's in you can have Sid actually in there with Ignis, and maybe like have I would say kind of have an echolocation where like you can kind of even change up the gameplay a little bit. Like maybe have it to where, like, Iggy, like, instead of aiming, it's like everything's black and all you see is Ignis. But, like, every time Ignis walks, you kind of see, like, the ripple effect, and you kind of see, like, area around it, even, like, enemies. And stuff, like, maybe even, like, you could add, like, a new skill or something, like circle instead of being, like, the warp strike. You, like, hit your cane down, like, you see the enemies around, like, you can use it. I don't know. Something to add more to it. I'm not sure how episode Ignis would work out as well. Maybe him trying to, learn to be blind. I don't know, maybe something like that. Like him learning to develop his skills. That way then, in the end, you can have, like, everything they learned between those 10 years, then meet up. And you won't have to explain, like, well, how did you do that? Well, okay, that's in the DLC. But you just say, we learned a lot. We didn't just sit around and do nothing while you were gone. Or something like that. But, no, that's not what they're going to do. I already saw where, because in the way they did it now in the main campaign, it just feels like a puzzle with missing, and it's like a puzzle with 3 missing pieces in it, and they're saying, you gotta pay some money to get these other pieces. Yeah, but final verdict on episode Gladius, because I kind of went on a rant a bit. Final verdict on episode Gladius, if you already got the season pass, I guess get it. I'm not sure how much it's going for right now. If it's above $10, don't. If it's, I don't know, $1 or $2, if episode Gladius is like $1 or $2, then sure. Sure, it's like an hour and a half long, little DLC extra. It doesn't really tell you much other than a little bit about his father. But other than that, it's just kind of like, eh. If anything, DLC I really want is one of episode Regis. Let's play as Noctis's dad during the Crusade. Yeah, we have a movie talking about, but there are some bits where Regis isn't even in it. So let's follow Regis a bit more. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, also I feel like what they're probably going to do is the multiplayer. The multiplayer, they're probably going to have it in between when Noctis gets sucked into the crystal and then, before his return. And, you'll allow you to do whatever, fight. Like, oh, these hunters need to come out and help us fight. And then, you out there and fighting crap. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. What you're going to get done, please like, subscription below, and links all around. And little subscription buttons right there. again, the episode, if it's like $1 or $2, sure, get it. Sure, why not? Get it. If it's like $10 or something, or like even $5, no, it's not worth it. For an hour and a half long of content, no, it's like $1 or $2 at best. Either way, thank you for watching and for sharing what I've done. Please links description below. Check out all my videos and links around. So buttons right there, and we will see you later.